Argonauts, we are one step closer to the moon with 3 really notable pieces of news and an incredibly strong week in what has been an incredibly bearish market. So strap in and let's look at why Argo Blockchain just keeps getting better and better. Now, blockchains usually track the price of Bitcoin quite well, and when Bitcoin does well, the stock price does well, and when it does poorly, so does the stock. But not all blockchains are made equal. Argo has no debt and was profitable when Bitcoin was at $8,000. So the shifts in movement when Bitcoin is in the upper echelons of 30 to 40 to 50,000 have almost no effect on the stock's price in comparison to its competitors. Not only this, but Argo recently had its most profitable month as of January 2021, mining 93 Bitcoin, or Bitcoin equivalents, which amounts to around $2.48 million in mining revenue. This equals, at the end of the month, a company holding of 501 Bitcoin and Bitcoin equivalents, and with a conservative figure of $40,000 per Bitcoin, that is around $20 million that they have on their balance sheet. Argo has just substantially increased its mining power from 770 petahash to 1070 petahash, or 1.075 exahash. And as I mentioned last video, the higher the hash rate of the blockchain, the more Bitcoin they can mine. If you would like a deeper look into this, make sure to check out my first Argo video here, and this goes more into depth about the terminology of blockchains. Now, to atone for my past sins in my last comparison video where I mistakenly, in my rushed manner, compared stock price as a reference into valuing stocks, I will now compare using market capitalization, a leading blockchain on the Nasdaq, Marathon Digital Holdings, to Argo Blockchain. Now, what exactly is market capitalization? Well, market capitalization refers to how much a company is worth as determined by the stock market. Mara trades at $38.50 with a market capitalization of $3.62 billion, whereas Argo trades at $3.82 with a market capitalization of $1.38 billion. Now, we know you cannot compare stock prices, so we compare the market capitalizations. And right now, I think Argo still has opportunity to 3 times in this situation. But why is that? Let's get into the numbers. Market cap, as we mentioned, is determined by the market, and more in depth, the total value of all of a company's stock. Argo has 364.86 million shares outstanding, whereas Mara has 93.94 outstanding. Now, if hypothetically the companies had the same market capitalization, Argo's stock price would still be much lower than Mara's. But if Argo was priced at the exact same as Mara, aka it had the same market capitalization of $3.62 billion, it would make the stock around $9.92, assuming the market capitalization was the same, which is around 2.6 times the price we are at right now. Now, to date, Mara mined Bitcoin at approximately 688 petahashes. Granted, with more plans for the rest of the year to bump this up significantly, however, when we compare this to Argo, we can see that Argo is already mining Bitcoin at 1.5 times the speed of its competitor, which fundamentally shows that Argo in multiple ways is incredibly undervalued. But we have more catalysts that can contribute to knocking that share price up. Exposure is something that really counts when it comes to blockchain companies, and Argo are executing this perfectly for being an OTC stock. They have a YouTube channel which has increasingly interesting Q&A sessions on it, company updates like RNS decisions and such, but also an incredible Twitter presence. The CEO, Peter Wall, is in some ways similar to Elon Musk in that he embraces internet culture and the things it can do to progress and get the word out when it comes to a business. And we've seen this in branded hoodies, giveaways for making memes, and constant talk and conversation in threads on the internet when talking about Argo. This is all incredibly strong publicity for a stock wildly under the radar. Argo was recently upgraded to the OTCQX, which is the highest form of an over-the-counter market, and this will help in gaining some traction for the stock in its inevitable rise in America. And Peter Wall said, the OTCQX is the highest tier of the OTC market, and we are delighted to have qualified to begin trading. Something that is currently flying relatively under the radar, but I think is phenomenal news that cements Argo as an incredibly profitable company, is its constant ability to attract lucrative partnerships. Recently, Argo announced it has signed a commercial agreement with Epic Blockchain Technologies, a supplier of industry-leading ASIC mining machines, which will allow Argo priority access to state-of-the-art ASIC mining rigs. Argo has purchased $8 million of these rigs and have priority on all future production runs globally for 2021 and 2022. Delivery of the machines will begin in early Q4 of 2021 and a larger scale delivery commencing in 2022. Now, what does this mean? Well, it means Argo has an incredibly high amount of juice on the back burner to be added to its systems throughout the year. And something that is notorious for heeding blockchain companies is that the technology that they use to mine Bitcoin is notoriously in high demand. This gives Argo a path to skip that nuance and continuously upgrade and complete its systems without hiccups. That's a huge leg up on its competition. Peter Wall had this to say.
We have signed on as a partner. We're going to run the machines. We're going to be their number one fan, obviously, but also their number one client, and have these machines at our facilities. And Perry's going to work very closely with them to kind of add some special features and custom design them to our specifications. So we've put $8 million down as part of this agreement, and we'll be getting our first shipment from them in the fourth quarter of this year, and then at the early fourth quarter of this year. And then we'll be able to get a large amount of machines, and a good amount of machines in the fourth quarter, but then a kind of a larger scale even in 2022. Obviously in this business, you know, and I've said this many times, you want to be close, as close as you can to two things. The two things that are difficult about it are access to power. You know, we announced not long ago that we've got this property we're going to be developing in Texas, and access to machines, access to rigs at a reasonable price that are machines that are profitable. So these machines that we're going to be getting from Epic, we're expecting to be really profitable, really good mining rigs. And to have an opportunity to use our technology and our experience to develop them and co-develop them and be able to collaborate, that's kind of important as well.
Now, as you can see, Argo is constantly a moving machine that simply does not stop putting fuel in the rocket that is attempting to take us to the moon. I have been invested in Argo since it was in the pennies, and I simply love this company. I hope you all enjoyed the video, but please remember, I am not a financial advisor, just someone wanting to help aid in the research and diligence of companies on my radar. If you wouldn't mind donking that like button and donking the subscribe button, I would be incredibly grateful. And for now, this is DD-Bae signing off.